So I saw this particular post from Hazardor Gaming, Dragon of Dojima's Twitter page, and it talks about Sega and what exactly their business is seeing. It pretty much puts a report together, and this is from, personalcentral.com. We're going to go ahead and look at the original article that's been posted here. But this says that Sega states that fast sales growth for both Persona and Like a Dragon franchises is due to multi-platform, simultaneous worldwide releases. Interesting. Stellar Blade, do you hear? Do you hear? Now, I gotta say, maybe they were in a situation where they needed a publisher, and PlayStation came in and provided them the lift that they needed. However, the game was first announced as Project Eve and was featured to be released on the Xbox platform. What's even worse is PlayStation locked this game, which they could have gotten a PC launch that could have helped the game, but they locked it to the PlayStation ecosystem to only benefit their consoles. However, while y'all were locking it, players on other platforms were looking at other games that they could play. You freed up other publishers to be able to make money. And so here we are. They're making money. So, Persona Central, they write, Persona series reaches 23.5 million copies sold worldwide. Sega's annual integrated report for 2024 has been released, including outdated cumulative sales numbers for some of the company's notable intellectual properties. One of these updated sales numbers is for Persona series at 23.5 million copies sold worldwide, including physical and digital. Sega states that the fast sales growth for both Persona and Like a Dragon franchises can be attributed to multi-platform, simultaneous worldwide releases, as well as remaster and spin-off titles. It's as if being a publisher means you need to actually publish games, PlayStation. I don't know if y'all are listening to this. Xbox got the memo. They looked and said, we are behind. We got to catch up. So they went in there and they found, according to some reports, distressed Bethesda, according to some actually the FTC document, Activision coming to them, and they did not spare any expense in acquiring those two. Well, feels like more than two publishers because the amount of game churn that those can all bring together is insane. The previous sales milestone for Persona was 22.6 million copies as of March of 2024, shortly after the release of Persona 3 Reload, which sold more than 1 million copies in less than a week. And that game, I think it was on Game Pass. All that talk. The series had sold 17.7 million copies as of June 2023. As of December 2023, Persona 5 series alone, including Persona 5, Persona 5 Royal, Persona 5 Strikers, and Dancing in Starlight and Tactica, has sold over 10 million copies worldwide. There's something to be said about making your game available for anybody who wants to play it, reducing the barrier to purchase, and ensuring that they get a really good experience. That's what the third-party publisher has always been in on, and that's why they've basically, even though they may have fewer nodes to deal with, they've basically been the ones that should be teaching these PlayStation and Nintendo folk, of which, I said PlayStation and Nintendo folk, sorry, PlayStation and Xbox folk exactly how business should be done. Nintendo, on the other hand, is not going to be safe from this. I keep saying this. Like, people keep saying, well, Nintendo. No, guys. You got to understand. The market forces and economic realities, they don't care about the name of your company. They do not. They couldn't be bothered. Why? Because at the end of the day, these are, non-sentimental. Market forces are not sentimental. They don't care if you love Nintendo and you played the NES when you were a little boy. They don't care if, the Nintendo itself, it appeals to, little kids, and it doesn't care. If Nintendo ever, breaks code, they will also be subject to those trends as well. Now, they do know how to manage their costs, it seems. That's why they're able to stay profitable, which is basically helping them. PlayStation has nowhere to go. It pretty much not only hires developers, it hires like Hollywood to make its games. It hires the best orchestras, the best musicians, the best composers. Like, everything about a PlayStation production reeks of expense, which, in some cases it could be really good. Like, if you want to launch a console seller, right? Spare no expense so that you can push this hardware. But your hardware is being sold at a loss. So why would you go take more of a loss? I guess Xbox kind of figured that out too. They were like, why would we go spend all that money when we don't even know if we're going to make a profit from this, hardware that we're selling? Now, at the expense of, many things for them. But in my opinion, I think for the most part, you cannot argue against availability compared to exclusivity. We have moved past a whole different paradigm in gaming. Why? The saturation of the market is insane. So now, and I've shown this data set in the last few days in a few videos. However, I've been sitting on this data set for a long time. I've been showing it from time to time in old videos like months ago. But I've been looking at this 2024 list. Guys, this 2024 list, last time I looked at it was like at 14,000 or so. It's like a game. Look at this. When I started making YouTube videos was 2016. I was only playing the Division 1 at the time. Then there was FIFA, there was Battlefield, there was the Call of Duty. There just really weren't too many games. By 2017, we were having debacles of which games had live services and, microtransactions and stuff. And boy, I tell you what, by 2022, that number easily is stupid. And so with all of this in place, you have to make your game available for more gamers to be able to play. If you don't do that, you follow exactly and fall into what Sean Layden said. And it was funny when he said it. I remember it was April of this year. I think I made the video, or I think I posted the video, this fall or something like that. I made the video a long time ago. Then I posted the video, just recently. And in that particular article, he said, I think it was in a podcast, he said, the Achilles heel of exclusivity games, or exclusive games, I guess I should put it that way, is that you pretty much reduce your addressable market, your addressable audience. Those Persona sales, they may not seem impressive, but because Sega does not have all of the infrastructure and overhead, and they don't spend, as much in terms of expense in developing the games, those numbers have basically kept them developing more Persona games, obviously, and just more recently, their Meta 4 game. So obviously there's money to basically cover costs and money to still be able to invest further. So, you have to say possibly there is profit going on somewhere. And every time you mention Sega and, Xbox, people think it's a slight. They're over there making money, bro. They don't spend $300 million on their games. And I think they may have found a sweet spot, because these Like a Dragon games continue to just, fly out the window with a lot of concentration, which was another, article that was written, how they actually do it. How do they, make their games so fast? And they're like, we just concentrate, man. We just stick with it and we just blaze it out. Little anthologies, little short games, by and large, just making small, tiny games here and there. I said this in my other video. What PlayStation needs to do is it needs to invest in making small games like that. Some people said, well, no, it's a little late. Well, it might seem late, but hey, I wouldn't write it off, folk. Just letting you know. Talk to me in the comment section, guys. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. I really do, want us to continue having this conversation, because, man, I don't know what PlayStation's future looks like in this particular market. Now, if the economy gets better and we start seeing an influx of, investment with ease without any resistance and such, they will have the opportunity to bounce back with some really wise decision making. I'm not saying it's over for them. They've been doing business for a long time. Somebody was telling me that, Sony has been in business since 1964, longer than I've been alive. So I think they know what they're doing. I don't care if they've been there since 1964. I predicted that their game should come out on PC back in 2018. You don't need to be a rocket science to be able to see that business is the same. Even though business was, a thing before I was born, you can pick up a book and read. We can go to an internet article. We're in the age where there's information for us. So all this appealing to, age and, you're so older than us, that's not relevant in today's day and age. I'm sorry. They will face economic forces, because econ didn't go anywhere, didn't change. It is what it is. Talk to me soon, guys. Peace out.